All right, looking at old Sacramento there. Let's see, Plant Lady Marlene is here. How are you? The boot is still on.
Oh no.
Oh boy.
The boot is still on.
But she's still standing.
From your
there it
long
is.
hiking trip. Well, I hope you're feeling a little bit better.
What was that?
I hope you're feeling a little bit better.
Ah,
So, okay.
a little bit. Just a little bit. Makes gardening a little difficult.
Yeah, I guess so. All right.
All the burrs get stuck in it.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Get some questions here for you.
Okay.
This first one here is the heat has burned the camellia plants. Should I cut off the top portion?
No, but you could think of that as almost like sunscreen, that those leaves are basically protecting the newer leaves down below. So if we get some other extreme heat, it's going to protect it. Most camellias should be an afternoon, little dappled afternoon shade, but this one looks good. Also remember, sometimes it's not just sunburn. If you notice a very distinct line halfway through the leaf, that could be drought stress. You see that a lot on roses. Usually sunburn would be in the center of the leaf, where the sun rays are hitting that little sort of the broadest area. So do look to see if it's sunburn. Generally that's the center leaf, not always, but if it's a really distinct line of brown halfway through, that means probably a little extra water during extreme heat.
Okay. This one here is, this one's dropping all of its leaves. Can I fix it?
That is a jade plant, a really great succulent, easy to grow. Usually when something like this is happening, the leaves are dropping like this, too much water, it could be rotting out. So what I would recommend is moving it into a better draining soil. Don't water any succulents in right after you transplant them into the soil. Let them, a jade plant, you could just let it rest for about 3 days, then give it a little bit of water. So remember, with something with pumice, better draining. If there's mushy parts, pull those out, and if you think you're going to lose the whole plant, you can easily make cuttings of that jade plant just by cutting off like 3-inch sections and putting them in straight pumice, straight succulent mixture, and putting them in bright shade. Don't keep them sopping wet, but a little bit of moisture.
All right, this lady said this maple tree means a lot, provides some shade, but there's a dead trunk. But she sent 2 pictures, so we're not sure that one and that one.
Yes, and I know we were looking at these a little closer. First of all, I'm not sure, I mean, looking at the leaves, I'm not sure if they're coming from that, but that is not a maple, but maybe I'm looking at the picture a little wrong. But no matter what, when you have a damage on a tree trunk like that, it's not great. I would say if that was the only tree, if that was the only trunk of the tree, I would say leave it, because plants can do amazing things and heal over. But there's a lot of large branches coming from one spot. So I would feel comfortable cutting that one off at the base. I would avoid doing it now, however, because if we do get that more extreme sun and heat, anything that's been shaded by that will now be exposed. So if you could wait until mid-September to do that, I would. So remember, anytime there's a wound on a trunk, that can invite pathogens, bacteria, and pests that can basically introduce diseases. It's not the worst, but since there's a whole bunch of branches already, it's good practice to thin it out anyways, but I would wait until September.
Okay. So how do people follow you? How do people get their questions?
Facebook and Instagram, and I will say I'm doing a horrible job of answering questions as of late.
Because your foot hurts?
Yeah, let's go with that.
Hey, but you're here, providing all the good stuff.
I am. You could still put the questions. If you put a question a few weeks ago and you still need it answered, just go ahead. But direct message on Instagram. Facebook's not so easy. Email marlenetheplantlady@gmail.com.
Oh, wow, you're putting that out, huh?
Well, that's not my personal one that you always bombard me with questions with. You have my personal one, Tina. You have my direct line.
Personal.
That's
I can ignore you from my direct line.
She does. Okay.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
So get the questions. She's going to be here all morning long, and make sure you take a picture and a question and send it to the correct email address, theplantlady@kmaxtv.com.
The best.